Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, Week 9. We'll call it a recap show of all of today's action, and we'll update you a Sunday Night Football update. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, Week 9 trivia question. It's a Bengals trivia question because the Browns played the Bengals today. We'll get to that in just a moment. Which of the following Cincinnati wide receivers was the tallest? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. After a disappointing loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers last week and the release of OBJ on Friday and all the drama that caused, the Browns by far, their best performance of the season as they bounce back and get a must win as they beat and dominated the Cincinnati Bengals by the final score of 41-16 today at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. It was a real concern whether or not the Browns were going to be ready to play this game physically and mentally. But the Browns dominated this game early. This win today, it might be a season saver as it gets them back over 500 at 5-4. Now, as I said, the Browns were dominating throughout the entire game, and it all started early. You know the Browns are a better team when Denzel Ward is healthy and playing, and he came up with the play of the game with Cincinnati about ready to take a 7-0 lead. On the opening drive, Joe Burrow threw a ball to the 1-yard line. Denzel Ward stepped in front of it, picked it up, and went 99 yards for a touchdown. Cleveland would play from the lead the rest of the game. Now, besides the Ward pick six, there was a 70-yard TD run by Nick Chubb that kind of padded the lead in the second half. Before that, a 60-yard pass from Baker Mayfield to Donovan Peoples-Jones that was perfectly thrown. All were huge. And the Browns just were dominating throughout this entire game. As I said, the defense really stepped it up today. And that what they had not done in the past week or two. And really showed their stuff today as the Browns got the win. And the Browns typically they would dominate the second half in the past year or two, and we wonder where it was. Well, it showed up today, and they really just dominated this game by far. The Bengals just never had a chance. And the Browns finally put together a complete game just in the nick of time. And I am going to kind of recap it for you right now. You already know the Browns won, so actually, you already know what happened if you watched it. And but this game was dominated by the Browns through all the four quarters of this game. Joe Burrow's pass short and intended for Ja'Marr Chase. Intercepted by Denzel Ward, as I just said, for 99 yards, and McLaughlin's extra point is good. It was 7-0. Joe Mixon left end for an 11-yard touchdown. McPherson's extra point is good, and it was tied at 7. Nick Chubb, right guard for a 1-yard touchdown. Chase McLaughlin's extra point is good. It was 14-7 Browns. Then Baker Mayfield passed deep middle to Donovan Peoples-Jones for a 60-yard touchdown. Chase McLaughlin's extra point is good. It was 21-7. Then the Bengals had to go. And then the Bengals Uh, and this call that has just come in is my buddy Keith Norman. Keith, how are you, buddy?
Oh, I didn't know you were on the air.
Yes, I am. But how are you? I'm just talking about today's Browns game, recapping it, and I just want your thoughts on it because the Browns just really dominated throughout this entire game, and the defense really stepped it up, and they finally together a complete game. And we were wondering where this team was from a year ago or two, and after last week's loss, they showed up today and really just put it all together and got a huge win out of this. And a 70-yard run by Nick Chubb and a Baker Mayfield pass for 60 yards to Donovan Peoples-Jones that was perfect. All we're here is, what are your thoughts on this? Because this is really a game the Browns just really had to win and had to have today.
Well, first of all, the Odell Beckham saga, which took place during the middle of the week, since that was resolved, this was a complete game that the Browns had. On defense, the Browns had 5 sacks and 3 takeaways. So the defense was responsible for 8 key plays today. I give my game ball on defense to Troy Hill, who had 3 sacks in today's game, and of course Denzel Ward with the 99-yard interception, second longest in Browns history. Offensively, as a team, the Browns had 3 plays of 60 or more yards, which is the first time in the NFL this year. As a matter of fact, there haven't been a play where they had 3 plays of 60 or more yards in quite a while in the NFL. So this was quite a first for an NFL team in a long time.
And it sure was.
Yeah, offensively, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he, as I thought, should be the heir apparent because it seems whenever Donovan Peoples-Jones plays, he makes big plays. You know, he had 2 catches for 86 yards. He only threw to him twice, but he wound up with 86 yards on 2 catches, including the 60-yard touchdown which Baker threw to him, which I thought was a perfect strike. Quarterback-wise, Baker was nearly flawless. I mean, he seemed to be the most healthiest I've seen him so far all of this year. I'm hoping that the injury will continue to heal. But the Browns have a tough schedule coming up with New England and Detroit, and New England and Detroit are coming up in the next 2 games. So these are games in which the Browns, they should be winnable games.
Yes, they should.
Even though New England won today, it's still going to be a tough matchup because nobody expected New England to play this well.
Yeah, and they have been playing well as of late, and I feel this could be, I think, a win for them. They need to get the win over New England next week. I feel they do.
The AFC right now is such a parity. With the Bills losing today and Baltimore barely winning by a field goal, the AFC is so convoluted right now. You don't really have a dominant team right now, although Tennessee is wrapping up a very dominating performance against the LA Rams. Tennessee has been the only team in the NFL which are 6-0 versus playoff teams from last year.
Yeah, you're right.
Tennessee has been beating up on the good teams, but yet they lose to the crappy teams. So who sees? But Tennessee was a good road win for them. And well, by the way, the reason why I called you was because with Tennessee's win, even though we'll both wind up 9-5, we'll pick up the game on Kevin Noga because Kevin Noga went 7-6 today.
Yeah, I'm about to go to 8-5 myself on the picks.
He gave me his picks early this morning, so I was tallying up his picks. And even though you and I were 8-5, he's gone 7-6. So no matter what,
it does look. I'm sorry.
Game on him this week.
Yeah, and it does look like with 37 seconds left to go in the 4th, and Tennessee is going to get the win. The Rams just did not look good at all tonight.
Well, no. As a matter of fact, the last touchdown that Tennessee made, which was Peterson was Adrian Peterson's 125th career touchdown. With that
Yes,
that
yes.
last touchdown by Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he's 36 years old, and he just scored his 125th career touchdown.
And yeah, you're exactly right. And the Rams just scored again with 24 seconds left. It is now, I think the extra
Pretty
point.
much academic.
It is
Yeah,
now
that's
28 to
pretty-
16.
Yeah, but that's pretty much academic.
Yeah, it's
because,
pretty much
the game
it's
was over. The
yeah.
game was over when Adrian Peterson scored the touchdown. With
Yeah, and now the
so
Titans will have the ball, so it's basically done. And it's first and 10 at the LA 35 right now. It's going to be a kickoff anyway. But it's basically done. I think Tennessee will get the win.
Yeah, but as I also mentioned, the Browns are not the only Cleveland team that were winners today. As I mentioned, the Cavs were
Yes.
the Cavs played very, very well tonight. As I repeated again, Ricky Rubio had a career high 37 points, including 8 of 9 from three-point land. He hit his first 8 three-pointers before missing his last one, which was pretty much toward the end of the game.
Yes.
And he had 10 dimes, that the Cavs dominated the New York Knicks and beat them 126 to 109 in New York tonight. It was a pretty dominating performance by the Cavs tonight. It's been playing very well on the road as of late. Even their Cavs record is now 7-4, but out of the 11 games, 7 of them have been on the road, and they have a 5-2 record. They have a 5-2 record on the road with the 2 wins this weekend.
Yes.
Because this past Friday they beat Toronto by a key when
They beat them by 1.
because the 2 free throws that was made
Yeah.
at the end of the game.
Yes.
The Cavs gave them the 1-point win. By Darius Garland's 2 free throws with 4 seconds left to go on Friday night's game gave them a 1-point win over Toronto. And then tonight it was just a dominating. Cavs went from the outside. They never really trailed in this game tonight. They kind of dominated.
No, and that's the first time that they have not trailed in a game that they've led.
Yeah, I think they had a win earlier this year in which they won from coast to coast. I think this is the second game this year in which they never gave up the lead while leading. So the Cavs are now 7-4 on this young season.
Yes, and they are off for the next 2 days, and they will.
We're 6 of the next 7 games will be played at home.
Yes, and
And Cavs have a good stretch at home within the next few games.
yeah, and they are off for the next 2 days, and they will play the Washington Wizards at home on Wednesday.
Yes, and then I think Detroit comes in and on their schedule, and they have a home versus the Celtics during this stretch. So far in the young season, the Cavs are an interesting team to watch.
Yeah, they are so far in this young season, and there were a lot of upsets this week in Week 9 of the NFL.
Yes.
And
There were upsets by Denver beating Dallas. How about the Jags with a unlikely 9-6 win?
that was the surprising shock of Week 9. The Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Buffalo Bills 9-6, and the Tennessee Titans Rams game has just gone final. The Tennessee Titans have beaten the LA Rams 28-16 tonight at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. So, and Keith, I want to thank you. I'm going to have to cut you because I've got to take a break, and I'm going to have to do it. So, thank you very much, Keith, and I'll look forward to. I'll talk to you on Thursday this week. Bye bye.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Stay with us.